Pastor Fauntroy is a retired 20-year member of the U.S. House of Representatives, serving the District of Columbia. For close to 40 years, he has served as pastor of the New Bethel Baptist Church. During the 1960s, he was appointed by Martin Luther King as director of the Washington Bureau of the Southern Christian Leadership Conference. He was Washington coordinator for the historic 1963 March on Washington for Jobs and Freedom and the 1965 Selma to Montgomery March. He takes great pride in having been arrested at the South African Embassy in 1984 when he helped to lead the Free South Africa movement. He chaired the House Banking Subcommittee governing the Federal Reserve for 4 terms, as well as the Congressional Black Caucus for the 97th District. He is co-founder of the American Revolutionary Party and serves on CESJ's prestigious Board of Counselors. He has been a major bridge for CESJ to the political and interfaith community for communicating capital homesteading reforms to the Fed monetary policy. The pastor is a graduate of Yale University Divinity School. Please welcome the Honorable Walter Fauntroy.
Thank you so very much, as I thank God for this magnificently beautiful day, a pristine blue sky, a warm and invigorating sun. I thank God for that member of the Abraham Federation who invoked the blessings of God upon all of us. He, like me, is a member of the Abraham Federation. All Muslims, all Christians, all Jews maintain that Abraham is the father of the faith, Amen. That Moses was the lawgiver, Amen. And that he didn't give 10 suggestions. Amen. He gave 10 commandments. Yes, sir. Thou shalt not steal. Yes, sir. Thou shalt not covet. Thou shalt not kill. Yes, sir. I'm pleased to have witnessed and been inspired by prayer that let me know that all of us are anointed by God to declare good news to the poor, yes, sir. To bind up the brokenhearted, and to set at liberty them that are bound. Yes, sir. Thank you for your prayer. Thank you for forcing me to say in my heart, sing them over and over to me. Beautiful words of life. Let me more of their beauty see. Beautiful words, wonderful words of life. I thank God for the reading of the Declaration of Monetary Justice, the words of which are not only a perfect statement of the problems of the world, but a perfect statement of the solutions, for which we have gathered here now for the 4th time. So I want to thank each and every one of you who has gathered here for lending your bodies to hundreds of millions of people in this country and billions of people around the world. You've lent your bodies to say to the world what is the perfect solution to our major problem. What is our major problem? Our major problem in the world is the lack of access to adequate and secure income. Yes, sir. That's the problem. What's the solution? The solution is to implement an amendment to the Federal Reserve Act that will force the Federal Reserve to open the discount window and make it available for productive capital in the private sector for all the people. That, some say, is a dream. But I believe, beginning this day, that it will be made a living reality in the near future. Yes, sir. Why do you say that? I say that because I'm aware, as we stand here, that there's a fierce wind blowing in the world. My Lord. It's blowing with hurricane intensity, tearing down old systems, sweeping away a crumbling order, and ushering in a new day. Yes, sir. I can hear the wind blowing in the Middle East, in Israel and on the West Bank. I hear it blowing in Burma, in China. I hear it blowing in America, with fierce intensity. We must change. We must shift to implement the Declaration of Monetary Justice. I believe that's the case. Imam Mansour knows that there's a passage in the 7th chapter of 2nd Chronicles that says, if my people who are called by my name will humble themselves and pray and seek my face and turn from their wicked ways, I'll hear from heaven. I will forgive the nation's sins, and I will heal not only the land, but I'll heal the world with the third way, capital homesteading. And so with that vision and that evidence, that as we stand here in front of the Federal Reserve Board and look into the window where Paul Volcker taught me for 6 months what I was handling in something called the Subcommittee on Domestic Monetary Policy. As we stand here, when the nation is calling for adequate and secure income for everybody. Why? Because a lack of adequate and secure income drives people mad. It denies them access to education for their children, health care for their families, housing for the homeless, and justice. So that if they have income, education, health care, and housing, nobody can take it from them with impunity. This principle of the American dream, that there ought to be a place somewhere on the planet where people of every race and every creed and color get into a social contract to care for and protect and defend one another beyond race, beyond creed, beyond color, because we are brothers and sisters. Why are we brothers and sisters? Because we all have the same Father. Some call him Allah, some call him Jehovah, some call him God, but we all have the same Father, and it is the Father's goodwill and pleasure that each and every one of his children will have 5 things: adequate and secure income, education, health care, housing, and justice. Don't tell me that this is an impossible dream. They told a man by the name of Martin Luther King Jr., whom I knew very well, because I was his personal representative for 20 of my 50 years as a minister of the gospel in Washington, D.C. He said, I have a dream deeply rooted in the American dream, which is that there ought to be a place where all of us recognize that either we learn to live together as brothers and sisters or we will perish together as fools. That message has resonated around the globe. And around the globe, people are looking to this place, to this city, and to this nation to establish the cadences to which we must march in the Middle East, in Africa, in Southeast Asia, around the world, where people are being driven mad by the lack of access. This is the moment I waited for. I can hear children singing. Soon church bells will be ringing, for this is the moment when the world recognized the weird, fierce winds that are blowing across the planet will find their rest in a declaration of monetary justice that is not just talk, but walk. It's not just theory, but the actions. And the people who have assembled here for 4 straight years are on the threshold of seeing this Federal Reserve, that Congress, that White House, and the people of this country say we were wrong, but we're going to make it right. We made a mistake when we left out the least of these, and we're going to include them through the marvelous, matchless, godly principle of capital homesteading for every citizen on this planet. Thank you.